We're going to see how to use Excel now to compute the percentile of a data value in a data set, and conversely go backwards and figure out what data corresponds to a certain percentile. So we're going to use the data set on the Major League Baseball player salaries and go ahead and download this into Excel. And what we're going to see, the main difficulty here is that Excel has difficulties, and it's not just Excel, it's any program really. When there's data values that repeat themselves, when there are ties. And so we're going to see the best solution to this. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to look at salaries. And let's sort it just to make sure that data values are okay. So click on the column salaries, data, sort. And you see 42 million is the top salary. And we go all the way down to the bottom just to make sure there are no suspect values or things that were entered incorrectly. This is especially true when you copy data off of the internet, which is what I did here. I copied a table from the internet. You really have to be careful that extra characters don't get inserted or something weird accidentally gets pasted. You don't know what the table actually looks like with the HTML code, so it can be a little tricky. Anyhow, scroll down here, and we see the smallest values are 555,000. Poor guys, right? But everything looks okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sort these. And this is going to actually be the upper percentile. So we're going to start off first of all with the rank command. The rank command tells you the number of values less than or equal to the value you click on. So I'm going to go to rank. This is the number I'm interested in. And now I have to enter the range. So I want to search this range right here. Whoops. That got screwed up by that because I accidentally clicked someplace. Here, hold on a second. Do that again. Okay, comma, Control Shift down. And if I hit enter right now, I'll get 1 because this is the highest ranked data set. I'm going to put $signs on both sides of the E because I want to hold the range fixed when I pull it down. If you know how to do it, you can double click and hit F4. It'll automatically put a $sign in there. However, I have to add something to this command. So what I have to do is I have to deal with what happens if I have a tie. And so the command that I'm going to use the COUNTIF command. And what I'm going to do is say plus. I'm going to put parentheses and divide by 2. I want to put something in the parentheses. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to enter COUNTIF. Click on the value here. And again, I'm going to enter the range. And I'm going to copy and paste this range right here because I don't want to have to do it all over again. It's time consuming. Oops. And now I'm going to subtract 1. And what this is going to do is this is going to count the number of times that data value occurs. So if there are ties, it's basically going to find the midpoint of the number of times that value occurs. So in other words, if the value, notice 28,000 occurs twice, it's going to subtract 1. So it's going to go 2 minus 1 divided by 2 1/2. And it's going to add 1/2 to this data value here. It's kind of choosing the midpoint when there are ties. And notice that this is, and I'm going to actually change this to a number, which I should have done earlier. And I'm not sure why I'm getting the $sign here. Let me just convert this to a number. Somehow it got formatted as currency, probably because it might have inherited this right here. So I'm going to go ahead just really quick and format this entire column as numbers. In fact, I'm going to format both of these columns as just numbers, so I don't have that problem. Okay, there we go. All right, a little harder to read because I don't have the commas, but that's okay. And now I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to pull this down. Okay, now it's going to rank them from 1 to however many unique values there are. We'll scroll all the way down. Okay, whoops, there we go. Okay. So there are 837 unique values. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to compute the percentile. I should have called this rank. Now I'm going to compute the upper percentile. So what I'm going to do, this is the 100th percentile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say equals 100 times rank divided by 837. There we go. Okay. Scroll all the way to the bottom. And this is in percentages, by the way. If I wanted to compute the percentile, I could do 100 minus that. Okay. So if I just wanted to compute the straight percentile, it would just be equal to 100 minus this. And that's how we compute percentiles in Excel. So if you use the rank command and the countif command correctly, it becomes much, much, much easier. All right. And again, I could format these so that the decimals look a little nicer and whatnot. But this is the command that you want to keep in your Excel files because it will help you a lot rather than trying to reproduce that. That's a useful command to know because it's one that you probably won't remember. It's a little complicated. And the text explains how it works a little bit better. I didn't really explain it very carefully. And again, the rank tells you the number of values that are less than or equal to the value you're looking at, and the countif basically chooses the midpoint of the number of values that repeat itself and adds that to rank. That's the essential idea behind how this command works, but it's a little tricky to enter.